Alrighty, so today we're going to be interviewing Ernesto here, just about his experiences with the Gorman program. So I'll let him introduce himself.
Yeah, so my name is Ernesto Torreblanca, and I'm a third year electrical engineer who's a research intern at the Chavnik Research Group for the materials department. And I'm a Gorman scholar, just like Noah.
And what made you decide to do and participate in the Gorman program?
Yeah, of course. So the reason I decided to do the Gorman program specifically was because I wanted to do research. But more than that, I knew that the Gorman program was tailored more towards people who were new to research and didn't really know like the process of how to get into a lab and how to write papers, or like how a lab worked itself. And I knew that, like I said, Gorman helps you with that whole process. And the reason I knew this was because I have a friend who did Eureka and he told me about his experiences, and I was just really interested in going through a similar process that he did.
Yeah, I definitely understand just having those kind of like baby steps into getting into research and wanting to do that because it is intimidating, I think, just to go out the blue and figure out what am I doing with research and how do I get into that. So that's a great answer. Um, Next question. How has your experience been just working with your group itself, especially just with like graduate students and your PI? Is it scary to talk to them? Do you feel like you're comfortable being with them? Do they help you out a lot? Just what's your experiences with the people in your group overall?
Yeah, so in the beginning, that was definitely scary just because I guess I would see myself as an outlier since I'm the undergraduate and they're all doing their PhDs or masters, and then you have the professor, which most of the time is scary. But then I started realizing that they're not as scary as they seem. The professor was actually really friendly, and from what I've seen with the grad students, they really enjoy working with him. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to attend many of their meetings just because it conflicted in my schedule, but I did meet up to twice a week with my mentor, and he was definitely very understanding of the fact that I was an undergrad. And he one time he even told me that he was an undergrad as well, and he knows that usually academics would take most of his time, and research was more of a not off the side thing, but had a little bit less priority. So he definitely made sure to express that I shouldn't feel the need to prioritize research and instead communicate with him whenever I don't have time for something or when I need help. But overall, I would say it's been a great experience. I thought I would have to like try to keep up, but I realized that I don't have to be on their same level as long as I'm
Mhm.
contributing and communicating with them.
Yeah, that's good. Just to think, I think for people who are even newer to research, the fact it's like, is this going to take all my time? How much time do I have to dedicate? And the fact is that they understand that you are an undergraduate and you have other things that you need to do and that you're a person as well. So yeah, I'm glad you've had a good experience with that. How's it been though, balancing research in school? Do you feel like you have a healthy balance between the two? Do you feel like you're slacking behind in one?
I would say that it's pretty difficult to keep a balance, especially when it comes to fields like our materials department specifically, just because they're always doing innovative research and they always have a bunch of projects going on. For example, my mentor, he actually has like three projects going on. So I can only imagine how much work that's on him. But when it comes to me, with a single project that I'm helping him with, it seems like a lot because they kind of do stuff from scratch. So right now we're working with like a humidity system that has to be automated, and he kind of gave me the lead on that so that it can be my own project. But it's been little difficult adjusting to the start of the quarter while also working on that. So I'd say that for most of the part, I've been dedicating more time to my academics rather than research, in the sense that I'm working on research here and there. But I would say it's there's less time gone into research than my actual classes.
Yeah. And what's been the most exciting thing about just doing research so far?
I think the most exciting thing, so that project I had talked about, it required some parts that I have that I needed to have, such as an air compressor and an Arduino. And I'd say the most exciting part was when he actually dropped them off to me. and I was gonna get to like actually feel those parts and work with them, and then go back to Arduino, which is the coding, and then uploading the code to the Arduino board, and then working. So I'd say that that's been the most exciting part, getting like a tangible feel of the project itself rather than just reading papers or like writing about those papers and just talking about the project itself. But yeah, I would say that that's been the most exciting part.
Yeah, definitely getting hands-on's exciting rather than just feeling like you're kind of idling around reading papers. So I definitely
Mhm.
agree with that. Uh, has research influenced you anyway outside the lab, whether it be your decisions just for your future career, future academic plans, even just with how you think about the world? What ways has it influenced you?
Yeah, definitely. So it influenced me to continue pursuing materials because before coming into college, I had an idea that I wanted to go into materials, but I didn't really like fully commit to it. Instead, I decided that the Gorman program would be perfect to get a little taste of what materials is like. Um, and the reason I waited for research specifically was because I was hoping to get like a hands-on experience with materials rather than just being like studying chem. Although there is a lot of chem involved, there still is hands-on experience that you can work with. But yeah, I also started taking material courses that are not required for my major and are more of an extra thing. So I'd say it's definitely influenced my academic pursuits. And
Hmm.
now I'm potentially gonna go to grad school.
Yeah. And then just a quick follow-up on the fact you're taking materials courses outside just your general major. Um, has your research helped you in understanding those classes or vice versa?
Yeah, it really has because in the beginning with my when my mentor would explain what exactly he worked with, he used a lot of terms that I honestly was not familiar with at all, but like I had a logical idea of what it meant. But then when I started taking these material courses, those terms started coming back up and I started to understand more what he meant. Um, but yeah, it definitely has helped.
And then last question, if you could give advice to someone who's interested in the Gorman program or any of the research programs at CSEP, what would you tell them just based on your overall experience so far?
I would definitely say that it's worth it and that they should do it. Um, at first, I did it just I did it as a way to like build up my resume as well. But more than that, we kind of forget that we're going in a research institution and we don't take advantage of the fact that we can also participate in that research. But I definitely advise other students to give it a try. Like I said, the Gorman and the Eureka, or actually all the CSEP programs, they kind of help you build yourself as a researcher, and they don't just throw you in and tell you, all right, do research. No, they actually help you to get the best experience possible, and also the perks that come with it, such as the summer stipend and all of that. It's just a full package that you should take advantage of. But definitely, you should participate and do research. You might end up liking it and find your passion.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, thank you for your time, Ernesto, and just giving insight as to just your experiences with the Gorman program and research overall. So thank you for your time.
Yeah, of course.